Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and others. My name's George Jones, aka the Peculiar Lefty, and today I'll be talking about immigration. This is going to be the first of a 5-part series of videos on the topic, where I'll hope to build up a convincing case for open borders. I'm going to be looking at the arguments both on a moral and on a practical level, looking at things like economics, security, and so forth. First, though, in this video, I'm going to be answering a more basic question, which is why talk about immigration in the first place? Why bother when most liberals and pretty much all leftists agree on the subject already? To me, that question itself demonstrates why everyone, or nearly everyone, on the left and the centre-right agrees that we should stand in solidarity with immigrants and refugees, and that we should always push for greater freedom of movement. But so what? I'm not here to preach to the choir, and the left as a whole shouldn't be doing that either. All too often I see left-wing content directed at those who are already on board, without the content creators trying to win people over who aren't already on our side. The great strength of communism is supposed to be the economic power and numerical superiority of the proletariat. So where are the workers? The working class vastly outnumbers the ruling class, but that means shit all if we can't convince the majority of workers that their interests lie in creating a socialist society. We need to be propagandists. We need to be recruiters. We cannot afford to be academics and sign waivers alone, and that means engaging with the concerns of ordinary people, something the middle class left and pseudo-left has singularly failed to do, with the EU referendum being the most striking example of that, and also the election of Donald Trump as President of the United States. In today's increasingly globalised society, immigration is a key concern for a lot of people. You've got fears over immigration causing unemployment, crime and terrorism. That's very common, and most of the major papers are already deliberately inflaming the situation. Now yes, obviously for the most part these concerns are unfounded, but it's not enough to tell people you're wrong. You have to explain why and how they're wrong. All too often I see the middle class left/pseudo-left ignore that part of the process. Instead, they mock and belittle anyone who disagrees with them, call them a racist and so on. Yes, we need to oppose racism physically when necessary, but we also need to educate people out of racism. Countering right-wing propaganda is something we need to do if we want to build a mass militant movement, because the simple fact of the matter is that a huge proportion of the people we need on our side buy into what the tabloids and the more highbrow reactionary publications print. There's a kind of self-righteous elitism in certain sectors of today's progressive movements that both excuses and incentivizes laziness. You hear people refusing to engage with anyone who isn't 100% correct in their views, anyone who is in the least bit racist, misogynistic, queerphobic, etc. Well, the fact is that we live in a racist, misogynistic, queerphobic society, so we're not going to get anywhere until we do engage with people whose views, quite understandably, reflect that society that they live in and that they have been brought up in. But we haven't been doing this. And I say we because I'm as guilty as anybody. I've done this as much as anyone else, and I don't want anybody to think that I'm exempting myself from blame here. So I know why people take this approach. It's easy. It's easy to brush off anyone who has some slightly dodgy views, certainly much easier than trying to change your mind, and it can kind of feel good too, can't it? This idea of being righteously angry, this idea of shouting down anyone who disagrees with you because you're in the right, damn it, and it's their fault if they disagree. But this kind of intellectually catabolic discourse, which is especially common when it comes to immigration, is nothing but harmful. Paradoxically, one of the most important and controversial subjects in our society is the one people tend to talk about with the least intellectual rigour. As I've said in previous videos, we need to educate, not insult people who disagree with us, even and especially when those people have reactionary views. There is a difference between a comrade or potential comrade who has some incorrect ideas and an enemy. And if we don't start to recognise that difference, we're fucked. Because let's face it, we simply do not have the numbers to be talking about doing anything serious until we've got far more people on our side. Before I get to the end of this part of the video, I'd just like to say that this is not a call to tolerate outright fascism and racism. We still need to be out in the street preventing racists and other reactionaries from organising. But at the same time, we need to counter the propaganda that brings people over to the far right in the first place. Attacking fascists is a great way of shutting down fascist organisations, but it won't help us build progressive organisations. That's the end of that part of the video. Now, I know a lot of you will have been expecting another part in my 31 Days of Horror. I've actually decided to abandon that project because, quite frankly, with the way things are going, I think it will be more productive if I put my time into doing this immigration series. And that's going to take a lot of research and a lot of time and effort before I can do the videos properly. Also, I'm finishing my master's degree at the moment, so I need to put a lot of time into that. But I will eventually be doing in-depth videos on all the films that I was planning to do 31 Days of Horror videos on, so don't worry, you will be getting some film comment from me over the coming months. Thank you for watching and have a great day.